Okay, guys, so this is Jessica Lightheart, aka the Earth Lady, and I'm gonna do a quick video here and show you guys how we are prepping our soil. Granny Bev has come in hand with some awesome pots, so we'll show you. Check out the awesome pots. There's about 20 of them there, so that'll be plenty of pots for our vegetables that we're going to be redoing. We have to do this in sections because I am strapped for time. So we're going to show you the soil prep, and then later on I will get back to doing the rest and show you how I actually transplant them from the trough we have them into the pot, so you can see the full thing. It's just going to be in sections. Okay, guys? So with that being said, I'm going to hand the camera over to Granny Bev. Here's the soil we got, and we're going to make it better. So Granny Bev is going to show you all of the steps. Can you see me, or do I need to scoot back?
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay. So we've already put some of the soil from the green bag into the pot here. I don't know if they can see the name of that. That's the organic stuff that we were able to get. So we put some soil in here. We also have some awesome leftover Granny Bev coffee grounds. And let's see if you can see. There's about 4 inches of soil in here. And you can see it's really dry. And we're just going to beef it up because we're going to actually use this on the bottom of the pots. And then we're going to use the soil that the crops are actually in to surround the roots so they don't go through so much shock. So we're going to put probably, I don't measure anything out, we just kind of eyeball everything here. It's hit or miss. So, and this is just to prep this soil so it's got plenty of nutrients in it. You can see the wetness right there. That's all of our coffee grounds. These are our eggshells that we are going to do another video on with all of the steps, because apparently I missed a step. So we're going to, I think I missed like 2 steps. And we're going to just dump in, I'd say probably about a cup's worth of eggshells. If you can see that, we covered the coffee grounds nicely with it. I'm going to mix it up so that it's nice and mixed. I'm sure that there was probably some perlite already in this mixture when we got it. They usually put some perlite in here. I know this one has some peat moss in it, which is excellent for growing. And as most of you know, if you've done gardening before, you know that the eggshells will actually disintegrate. So there you go, you can see it, it's nice. Still really dry yet. And because the soil is so dry, we have fish poop that we've sucked out of the fish tank. And we're gonna pour some of that in there. I don't know, half jug, something like that. And just make it all damp so that we can make sure it all gets mixed in. That way the nutrients of the coffee grains kind of mixes into the soil. Everything gets plenty of juice and fertilizer evenly. And I'm just using a bucket here to do this with. And then that's still pretty dry. So actually I think, yeah, we're going to put a little bit more fish water in there because I want this nice and juicy. You don't want it into mud. You just want it to where it makes your hands moist. That way when it's in the pot, it takes longer to dry out, but this moisture will start the decomposing of the eggshells. And so you're constantly having that soil being fertile. And now you'll see it's kind of clumpy. That's what you want. You want it to where it's kind of clumpy and you can see the moisture. All right, now that we've got this good and done, what I'm gonna do is I'll show you. We'll put one bucket, and I'm just gonna scoop some in here so you can see. We're gonna cover the bottom of this bucket with this nice tasty soil, and then later in the next video, and we'll do this, I don't know if you can see, it's about 2 inches full, and we'll do this with all of our buckets. Once all of them are completely topped off and we've got them good and ready, then I'm going to go ahead and in the second video I'll show you how we break apart the pods so that you can see that we're separating. Some of our pods have more than 1 or 2 crops in them. So we're going to break them apart and separate them so each individual plant has its own pot. That gives it plenty of room to grow so it won't be root bound. It gives it plenty of nutrients, and that way if we have any complications with anything, we don't have all of them being contaminated. We just have one single crop at a time contaminated so we can get a control of it. So with that being said, I know this is kind of quick. If you have any questions on what exactly we did, or if I missed a step, or anything at all on where we get this stuff or how we do this, leave them below and I will get to you as soon as I possibly can. We've got 20 of these pots to do tonight, so we're gonna fill them up and get them good and ready, and then we'll later, when I'm done taking Ben to work, then we'll come back and I'll show you how I separate the crops, get them in the pots, and how we use the soil that they already are in to surround them so there's no shock to their system or their roots. Okay? So, I think I covered everything. And in this bucket, you can see that there's probably still a lot of dirt in it. Yeah, there's still a lot of dirt in it. And I only used a half a jug of the fish poo water. So, and we just suck this right out of the bottom of the fish tanks. We use the fish poo water because that is great fertilizer for your crops. We don't use anything artificial around here. The eggshells we did do a video on. I'll do another one. So we've got all the steps. That's to continue the fertilizer in the soil as they decompose. That gives you more room in your soil for the roots to grow, as well as it gives it more nutrition. And then of course the coffee grounds, well, God knows we don't let anything go to waste. There's a lot of nutrients in these coffee grounds, so we throw some of that in there too, just to spunk it up a little bit. Remember, you don't want to use a lot of coffee grounds. And if you're using other fertilizers, for instance, the number one that I know of for sure is chicken poop. If you're using coffee grounds or chicken poop, you want to make sure you're not using a lot, because those are 2 substances that will cause heat. And you don't want to burn the roots of your crops from the underneath up and kill your crops. So, I did not put the holes in the bottom of these yet. There's 4 holes in the bottom of each one of these, and once we get them all filled up and everything, then I'll go ahead and take a screwdriver, and with time we'll poke 1 or 2 of the holes so it drains, and then if there's still too much water, then we'll go ahead and poke the other 2 holes so there's one all the way around for plenty of drainage. We do want some moisture in there so our crops don't go dry, especially in the Tennessee heat. The soil will dry out fast, and we don't want to be watering the crops all day long and utilizing the day in other ways instead of wasting it all day watering plants. So with that being said, my alarm is going off, and I want to thank you all for following me, watching me. I hope this helps you get a better idea as to how we prep our soil and what we do to make it all good and healthy so our crops grow big and luscious. So thank you, and I hope you have a fantastic Friday, and we'll see you again. Ciao now. Oh.